This video was brought to you in part by my Patreon patrons. If you want to support my channel for only $2 a month, you gain access to my private Discord server where, trust me, all the coolest folks in the world hang out, behind-the-scenes bonus content including details on secret upcoming projects, and even early videos. If you're interested in helping me out and joining this awesome community, just head to patreon.com/arlostuff. What? Nintendo just announced Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door for the Switch. And I do not understand why. I don't get it. They had every reason not to. They had every reason to not do what they did. Firstly, of course, it's the whole creative issue, you know? When Paper Mario Origami King came out, Tanabe was talking about this weird secret IP protection squad that was enforcing all of these super strict rules onto Mario and how Mario could be portrayed and what kinds of characters could be characters, and we could still see that characters weren't really allowed to have names. Like, you don't need me to go into the whole thing. There were just these really strict limitations. And we could see that Origami King was a little bit looser with these rules. It was more loose than the titles that came before it, but it was still following those rules. And other series didn't quite seem to be following the same rules. You know, Super Mario Odyssey is a great example of just like weird new races of people and all that stuff. But whatever the case, it seemed Paper Mario was a new way. This is just what modern Paper Mario has to be. It has to have these restrictions. And because of that, it felt like Nintendo wanted to distance themselves from classic Paper Mario. Classic Paper Mario was all the things that Paper Mario was not allowed to be now. It felt like if it was that important for them to release new games with these restrictions, why would they give us the old games? Those would break the rules. And of course, they did give us the original Paper Mario on NSO, but like, I don't know, I thought that was, it's an exception. It's an old N64 game. Of course they're gonna put it on NSO, right? It's just like a port, it's just emulated, but like, Thousand Year Door? As a major release? No. That would go against everything they wanted Paper Mario to be. So that was enough reason right there to never expect them to do this. Even more though. Even more. This is where it gets even crazier, because Nintendo, they can change their mind. They can change the rules. They do it all the time. But why would they make a remake of Thousand Year Door when they're already doing a remake of Super Mario RPG? Why? Why would they? Even if they did change their minds and want to give us Thousand Year Door, why would they do it now? Why would they do it now? Why wouldn't they wait a couple years? Spread out your Mario RPGs, you know? A little tiny bit, or at least wait until RPG is out. Wait until it releases. It's not even out yet. We're waiting for it. It's coming this year. You know, let it release, and then maybe sometime next year you announce Thousand Year Door. You know what I'm saying? I see no reason for this to happen right now. And that is why I did not believe the rumors. There were rumors, very strong rumors, that we were getting some kind of Thousand Year Door remaster, but we have had rumors like that before. And I'll believe a lot of rumors, lots of them. Way more rumors end up being true than we would like to admit. So like, yeah, if I hear a good strong rumor, it's you know, a lot of different sources are saying it, I am likely to think that it is pretty it's a pretty likely thing, but I do not believe the ones that sound just a little too implausible or just a little too good to be true. you know? Because usually those end up not being true. And this was one of those rumors I did not even give a second thought. Didn't even bother reading the articles that were stating them. Really? Like, seriously? 1,000-Year Door remaster? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, and Nintendo, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna wrap it up in a neat little bow and deliver it directly to Arlo's door. Yeah, sure. I would have bet money. I would have bet cash money that this was not gonna happen. But sometimes, Nintendo just has to remind us that nothing is certain. Nothing about Nintendo is certain. Every single time I think I've got them figured out, every single time I think I'm in their heads and I know just what they're thinking, I am reminded that I don't know anything. Oh, here's the other thing though. That's not even all of it. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that I did not expect and would never expect. Okay, 1 in a million chance Nintendo does want to give us Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door, some sort of enhanced, not just a straight port. They don't really do, like, at the very least, they're gonna upscale it, right? Think Pikmin 1+2. Just a simple upscale. Just up-res the graphics, make it look nice and clean, maybe update the controls or something. There's some small thing like that. We'd be losing our minds. Absolutely losing it. It would be largely the way that it has been, with just, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, I'm crying, this is incredible. We would have reacted that way regardless. But this? But this? What is this? What is this? This is basically a remake, okay? I guess technically you can't call it like a full top to bottom remake, with like all new code or whatever. It looks like they probably are using a lot of the old code and the locations and just like the bones are probably original. I'm actually usually pretty darn like persnickety about the definitions. Some things are clearly just remasters, but people call them a remake. I don't really like that. Sometimes you might say a remake is something where they literally built it from the ground up. They probably didn't here. However, the next best thing that I still basically call a remake, they've redone all the assets. Every single individual visual asset has been redone. It's been modernized. It's been made to look shiny and beautiful. There's a new lighting engine. Everything about it has been remade. It's like Metroid Prime Remastered. They didn't need to remake the whole thing. That's completely unnecessary. You just remake all of the visuals. So, like, for all intents and purposes, this is a remake. It's everything that I could want in a re-release of 1,000-Year Door. They remade everything that mattered and left in all the stuff that did not need to be changed. Also, have you seen this game? Again, just like Metroid Prime Remastered, they went so far above and beyond. So far. The very concept of a 1,000-Year Door remake in the style of modern Paper Mario, Color Splash and Origami King, just with their incredible, like, paper craft visuals and all that, modern graphics, that sentence, that idea, that concept, impossible. Felt impossible. It was such a pipe dream. Oh my gosh, can you imagine if they remade the originals, but they looked like this? It's so silly that you say it in conversation with your friends, but you don't really expect it. You don't expect it. I'm not going on here putting it on my wish list. Oh, I really hope they do this, but in this style, it's too specific. I'm just hoping that they're gonna release the game at all in any form, whatever it is. I'm too busy focusing on its very existence. I can't even dream about it looking like this. Have you seen this game? They could have just given us the game. Could have just given us the game. But they did this. It's perfect. It's completely faithful to the original, but looks so much better. Every single aspect of it is just, it's the Metroid. It's the same thing. It's just better. It's the way that I remember it in my head, but just like enhanced and shinier and amazing. They say enhanced visuals in the Direct. They're selling their own game very short. This looks incredible. And you know what? I will say, I replayed the original Paper Mario recently, and it really made me just understand how I would say that the original Paper Mario's overall style is just a lot stronger and a lot more like, I don't know, like thematically cohesive or something. You know, it's got that storybook thing. It's kind of a storybook. It's kind of a stage play. And Thousand Year Door definitely has better graphics, and it definitely leans more into the whole stage play thing. But a lot more of it loses that storybook idea. It looks less like paper characters. It's got a lot of like papery elements, but in a lot of ways, it just kind of looked like just better graphics. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I still love the look of it, but it was less unique than the original. It just had less of like a really strong, cohesive, like thematic visual aesthetic. But this is like fixing that. This is taking all of it and turning it into that papercraft world. Like, obviously I complain when paper is like too much of a focus, but I do like that this is a world made of like paper and cardboard and stuff. And this is doing that. It's taking the original Thousand Year Door and like bringing it up to today's Paper Mario standards. Look, this actually is a little paper world. It's not just a bunch of assets that happen to be flat. Do you know what I'm saying? And I don't know, the end result, it's perfect. It's perfected. They're taking something that was so great and they're shining it up and they're making it just, it's everything I could want. It's literally everything I could want. It's all of it. Oh, and you know what? I do have one more thing I haven't mentioned yet. One more thing. One more reason why this doesn't make sense. Why Thousand Year Door? Why is that the game? Why is that the game they chose to remake? I mean, I personally believe this was the right choice, but anyone could argue that the original Paper Mario way more deserves a full-blown remake. I mean, come on. It's an N64 game. It has the most to gain from a remake. And like, it's the first game. You know, it's a very foundational thing. Oh my gosh, the very first Paper Mario full remake. It makes all the sense in the world. And I always imagined that if we got a remake of anything, it would be the original Paper Mario. But like, I don't know, what about Super Paper Mario? That is the first Paper Mario game that just went off the rails and was like, you know what? Paper Mario shouldn't just be a turn-based RPG, it should be something different. So if anything, Super Paper Mario might better encapsulate what Nintendo feels about Mario and Paper Mario now. It's heavier on the story and the characters, but at least like gameplay-wise, it's weird. They could have gone with that one. Heck, they could have redone Sticker Star. Why not? 3DS remasters, it's a thing now. Luigi's Mansion 2, give it the Luigi's Mansion 2 Sticker Star. It sold a good amount. It sold pretty darn well. It sold some millions. Why not that one? They chose Thousand Year Door. They chose that one specifically. And here's the thing. Sometimes, often, it feels like Nintendo does not listen. It feels like Nintendo does not really care what the vocal minority wants. You know, they like to give us what they want us to want. They do what they want to do, and they go deal with it. That often happens. But I cannot help but look at this situation. I just can't help but look at this and just notice they went for Thousand Year Door. They seem to have specifically picked the one that the most people were crying out for. The one with the most passionate fan base. Lots of people like lots of different Paper Marios. I know Super Paper Mario's got loads of fans, but to me, nothing beat Thousand Year Door. The fan outcry for some sort of re-release of Thousand Year Door, that was always the strongest and the loudest. And that just happens to be the one that they chose to remake. And I can't look into it too much. You can't look at any one single thing that Nintendo does and glean some massive thing from it. You gotta just take things as they come. But I can't help but look at this and just notice. You know what I mean? They didn't have to remake Thousand Year Door. They didn't have to. But they did. They did. this was the last thing. You know that? This was the last thing that the Switch could do for me. The Switch has made so many of my dreams come true. But Paper Mario was always my yeah, but you know, like I got the Pikmin, I got the Metroid, I got the Sandbox Mario, but Paper Mario was always that one little thing that was like, well, you can't win them all, you know? And sure, this ain't a full brand new game in the style of the old games. That would be ideal, but you know what? I'll take it. I will take it. I've been talking about how much I love this game for so long. Just so long. And previously the only way to play it was to hunt down a $150 copy or whatever, or like emulate it, you know? Get Dolphin Emulator and play it that way. And not everybody wants to do either of those things. A lot of people would rather just, you know, like play it on a system that is convenient and nearby. And now it's happening. People are going to have easy access to Paper Mario, the Thousand-Year Door. Not only that, but a beautiful, redone version that is like totally up to modern standards. It's surreal. It's just surreal. Yep. This was a good day. This was a really good day. I'm happy. I feel at peace. I feel peaceful on the inside. Like everything's going to turn out all right. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope that a lot of you are as pleased and at peace as I am. And also just like, thank you for sharing in all this with me. You know, like just over the years, you know, Nintendo Directs, they're so much fun, and all the hype and all the predictions and stuff, and making videos about them, and just everyone getting together and just being excited about a thing. It's really special. So just thank you. Thank you for being a part of all this with me. It's really, really fun. Yeah. You all have a good day.